Hello, everybody, and welcome to this November 5th edition of the Deerfield Ad Hoc Senior Housing Committee. I would like to share with all of you that certain meetings normally held at municipal offices are being held remotely with adequate alternative means of public access and where required public participation provided in accordance. Oh boy, my thing isn't big enough. Sorry. In accordance with House Bill number 62 of the 194th General Court, which extended the governor's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Master General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, until June 30th, 2027. Our meetings are typically rebroadcast on Frontier Community Access Television, but I do not know if they yet have been returned to their YouTube channel. So I don't know what they're doing. I believe Blake said last week that they had not yet. Let's take a roll call. Carolyn Ness.
Yes, here, and I apologize that Cece Yaswinski is on the thing, but
That's okay. We
she's,
see you and hear you. Thank
yeah.
you. Kathy Sylvester.
Yes, here.
Pam Predmore.
Present.
Lily Dwight, present. Blake Gilmore, not present. Guest present is Jason Clark. Indeed. All right, I would entertain any comments, amendments, suggestions for the minutes from October 22nd, 2025 meeting.
I will make a motion to accept them.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Carolyn Ness?
Yes.
Okay.
Carolyn, yes.
Kathy Sylvester?
Yes.
Pam Predmore?
Pam Predmore, yes.
Lily Dwight, yes. I stumbled over your name, Carolyn, because I almost said Cece.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay. Next on the agenda is a discussion of our meeting with Josh Cuddy. Carolyn was there and Blake was there. Basically, it was an introduction. There was a really impressive turnout of state people, and Natalie Blay was there. Joe Comerford's office was represented by a couple of people. It was pretty impressive, and I think they heard us. And the long and short of it is that I reiterated that we will do the work. Whatever is needed, we will do the work. And they were gonna, Josh was gonna go back and talk to Christine Medor to get up to speed, and he has the links to the RFP and all that kind of stuff. So then he will get in touch with us. So I sent a follow-up email yesterday just saying thank you, and again saying we will do the work. We will do the work, because after Sunday's community conversation where we had all those state people, and it was just really clear that they're just trying to figure out what is funded, what isn't funded, how they can move money here, hither and yon. So I said, obviously, you all are dealing with a lot of spinning plates. So if you point us in a direction, basically, we will do the work. So that
I did talk to Joe Comerford and thanked her for sending Jared.
okay.
I did text Jared and thank him for coming.
Oh,
And
excellent.
I did emphasize that we were willing to do whatever work that needed to be done, and we would be glad to be a pilot person, pilot community for anything that they felt was good.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
whatever.
We shall see. It's just kind of grim out there, but we're not going to be up. Oh, and in my letter, I said that we would be working on the RFP over the next couple of weeks with the intention to resubmit it. So I was trying to put a little spike in their tail to make them go a little faster. Okay. Updates. Carolyn, I don't think there's anything you can tell us about that. I mean, there's no update.
There's no, I didn't call because,
No, there's no point. Yeah.
yeah, this,
Okay.
what I was told last time was that the federal government is cutting their housing subsidies to the states. And
Especially blue states, no doubt.
yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So the idea that we're gonna get an answer out of them, I mean, I felt like that until things settle down and a budget is brought forth where there's concrete numbers, they're not gonna be able to give us anything concrete. But I'll keep bugging them. I just didn't think it
No,
was.
don't. I wouldn't. Don't bug them.
No. I mean, I think it's worth continuing to talk to them and ask them what's going on, but not when the government is shut down and there's no budget.
No, absolutely not. And Carolyn, I would just even hold off until
Okay.
we decide as a committee that it would be a good thing to do, because we probably want to do it based on whatever resources we're getting from them and all that kind of stuff. So let's just put a pin in that for now, okay?
Oh, no, that's fine, because I don't think we're gonna get any information
Right.
until there's the actual budget. The continuing resolution doesn't really address that, so
Okay.
we'll not, no.
All right. So Pam,
Yep.
you left me a voicemail about things that you found out. But why
Yeah,
don't you-
I'll just say that, as I think I'm left in your message, that I did hear back from Anna at Integrity Builders. She reluctantly and very apologetically said, no, we cannot participate in this, and she felt really bad about it. She told us to keep working on it, but she also asked me if we had been in touch with, and see, I don't know who the contractors or whatever responded or showed up for the site visit way back when, prior to our putting out the RFP. But she wanted to know if we had been in touch with Wright Builders, because she thought it might be something that they would be interested in. And she even said that she was willing to contact them and said, hey, do you guys know about this, and got any ideas about it? So
Okay.
I don't know if anything will come from that, but
Okay, so years ago, I mean years ago, I was in a lot of conversation with Wright Builders, and it was really focused around the fact that they built the living building at Hampshire College, which is a total net zero, even including construction, which was very cool. And so they were interested, and I'm pretty sure that we requested in the list of developers who were invited to respond. I'm pretty sure they were in there, but that is definitely worth double checking, because they were really responsive and spent a lot of time on the phone with us and stuff um, to talk about it, but we'll see.
I also have not heard anything back from Backyard ADUs.
You know, I heard something I got a text from Tim O'Reilly.
Oh,
Well, it was because he was at a wedding that I was at. Um, but so I can poke him. I'll poke him again and find out what's going on, because that is one thing when we were talking with Josh Cuddy, you know, in an attempt to demonstrate our flexibility in this, I did say that, we're looking at all kinds of stuff, including like a cluster of ADUs like Backyard ADUs did or a cluster of small houses is really what they are, but like Backyard ADUs did in Northampton and stuff like that. And so I I will poke him on our behalf. Okay.
thank you. Coming from you, maybe it'll be,
Yeah.
perhaps a bit more responsive, since you have the
The
connection,
connection. Yeah.
years
I
of
think,
connection.
I think we're kind of a long shot for them, because they don't, I believe, I should find out, but I think that the development that was done in Northampton was that a developer made this proposal and brought them in to implement it. You know, I don't think they said, let's put together, I just don't know. So anyway, I'll bug them, and at least I'll get them to come and visit the site.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Pam, for
Yeah,
pursuing it.
yeah, you've done a great job on that. It's, you know, we're shaking all the trees, right?
Well, right. Wish I knew where there were some more to shake.
Me too, me too. Yeah, the trees are dying off. Anyway, to kill a metaphor. All right, so there's a couple of things. The big thing to do is to begin reviewing the RFP, but if you all don't mind, I would like to jump to in new business, not anticipated 48 hours ahead. I realized this morning that we need to give the Community Preservation Committee our annual report. And also the CIPC, the Capital Improvements Planning Committee, requires a report from us as well. So I drafted each of these and put them up on the drive. So I would like it if we reviewed those and then went to the RFP, if you all don't object.
It's fine with me.
All right, so let me do this. Let's do the
And thank you, Lily, for doing all the pre-work. I mean, really.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's so easy to edit or just say, yeah, it looks good.
it's much easier to be an editor, but that makes the world go faster. Okay, let me do share. Brave browser CPC. All right, we're going to do the CPC first, since the chair of the CPC wants to make sure we get it done. All right. So you know, I have also requested from Town Hall what the remaining balance is of the funds that we have been granted by the CPC. So I will read it out loud, shall I?
Yes, but
Okay.
I see something right immediately is OTO. And we really have to, you have to spell it out, that's all.
Yeah, I agree with you, Carolyn. I think it, like you did with MHP parentheses, Mass Housing Partnerships,
Okay.
it's really a good idea to do that so that any,
Does anybody in this room remember the actual name of OTO? Because I could not.
Nope. That's why I said we gotta put it
You
out.
want to know why it's OTO? All right, but I will get full name. I can go look at the contracts, right? I'll do that. Cool. Since our last update, we have one, finished the contract work with OTO because that was still pending from our last update to them. Two, we developed an RFP with big assistance from Christine Mador, Director of Community Assistance at Mass Housing Partnerships. Three, retained FERCog to release the RFP and manage the process. Unfortunately, although a number of developers and architects came to the site visit, we had no bids for the project. Maybe I'll make that as just. Because of this, we have contacted the Office of the Secretary of Housing, Representative Natalie Blais, and Senator Comerford, all of whose staff have met with us and expressed interest in working with us. Hey, does Natalie have an E on the end of her name?
No,
no, does not.
Okay,
Does
I
not.
thought not, but I was like going, oh, you know how your brain sometimes goes,
yeah.
right? Okay. We have X amount remaining of the funds that we were awarded by the CPC. Next steps. And that amount I am going to get from Town Hall. I
Well,
expect
I
to get
have
that by
it
Friday.
Actually, it's 72,000 and I can give you the change. I just have to go back and look.
Ooh, did you text it to me?
Yeah,
Then hang
I
on.
only checked, it's 72,000 plus. There's some dollars in there. I can give you the exact figure. I have to go look at it.
Okay.
Because I just went over all this information with them
Okay, great.
for our meeting. Our CPC meeting. I'll go find it.
Well, I think it's fine to say we have 72,000 remaining of the funds that we were awarded. You know, I wouldn't worry about it because That's dollars and cents. So in the next steps, in the next 12 months, we will be, one, working with the offices mentioned above to revise and resubmit the RFP. Two, apply for a grant to demolish the existing buildings. Alex Galloway is looking into that.
Yep.
Three, continue investigating alternatives to demolition, though this seems less likely because of the expense involved. Anything else?
Lily, when you say that, well, the number 3, the first thing that occurs to me is, it says, although this seems less likely because of the expense involved, do we need to say what, and for example, perhaps, for example, moving the buildings, and then of course where? I don't know. I mean, do we need to put,
So that people have an idea what we mean when we're talking about the expense? Is that what you're thinking?
alternatives and expense?
Continue investigating alternatives to demolition, such as moving the building, so this seems less likely because of the expense involved. Does that work?
Yeah, instead of parentheses, maybe it just should be a comma after moving the buildings. I'm not sure.
And it's a run-on sentence, Pam. I'm shocked at you.
I think, Pam, I don't know,
Let's
It's
just
good enough.
delete that.
Maybe,
Go
maybe the problem I'm having is the,
Why bother to say, though this seems less likely? This is a report to the CPC about how we use their funds.
right,
And what we're going to be doing. So we will continue investigating alternatives to demolition, such as moving the buildings. How about that?
yeah, I think that's good.
Yep.
It is expensive, that's why no one's done it yet.
Yeah. Although, as I was writing, I was thinking about the church up in Greenfield next to the YMCA, where they took it apart because everybody's talking about, moving it down the street with the steeples and the trees and the wires and all sort of stuff. But you can take it apart and rebuild it, which is what they did with the Greenfield one. But anyway, and Bob Decker approached me with an idea of what I mean, I love it. He's always going, I know what you can do. I'm like, why are you doing it? But he suggested we talk to DA and see if DA wanted the building for use.
Oh, no,
I mean, it seems highly unlikely since everything they're building is super energy efficient and all that kind of stuff. I don't see it happening. But
no.
so any other next steps? We're going to resubmit the RFP. We're looking into a grant to demolish the existing buildings. All right, so the other part.
The only word I would change, I'm just thinking about it when you say resubmit, shouldn't it be publish the RFP?
Yeah.
And what about, aren't we looking at mitigation for, like putting in something to mitigate the, what do I want to say?
Yes, I know what you're saying. So investigate mitigation possibilities for the site, right?
Yeah.
Yes, well, yes, and that's part of, I mean, that's a whole village ongoing thing.
True, but that's something that,
Yeah.
that's the conversation that we began with the Conservation Commission that we
Yes.
still don't have answers about yet, where they were going to look at mitigation upstream, mitigation downstream, what's allowed.
did
Thank you.
we,
Although I do want to say that as chair of the MVP committee, we just put in that letter of interest so that we're moving forward on all this mitigation stuff.
Sweet.
And we're for our meeting in December, we're going to be sitting down and filling out the, literally working on the application. So
Cool.
that will go towards the site. I mean, this
For-
site
yeah,
is,
for work for our stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
Excellent. Yeah.
So
we-
this fits in.
Do we need to say anything under number 3 about what we mean by mitigation
Well,
of the site? Are you talking about?
Cheap water,
Okay,
right?
yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Pam.
yes.
Yep, we know what we're talking about. Thank you, Pam.
But
Yes.
someone reading this might not know.
Exactly.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I put in,
My intention is hopefully to coordinate that PL 566 with the developer so that this developer will have all the mitigation and the parking and all that kind of stuff paid for under PL 566. But,
Okay.
I mean, that's,
Kathy, yeah, Kathy, what did you want to say?
I put in the chat what OTO.
Oh, thank you.
so what is it? What is it?
O'Reilly, Talbot, and Oaken Engineering.
Oh, okay.
O'Reilly, is that what you said?
O'Reilly, yeah, REI. Yep. Talbot and I'd like it, Oaken, OKUN, yeah,
KUN,
engineering.
engineering.
Man, I completely blanked on that deal.
Thank you. I mean, we only ever referred to them as OTO, so I honestly couldn't even pretend to have an idea what their name was. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
You just saved me some time. All right, the other point I want to make here is, and the publishing of the RFP, and this is going to turn up in when we get to the CIPC as well. To do it last year, we retained FERCog for like about $3,000 to manage the whole process. And so I emailed Town Hall yesterday, Christopher and Alex, and asked them, do we need to retain FERCog again, or is this something that their team can do now that there's a real team in Town Hall? And I don't have an answer yet, but I did leave Christopher a voicemail and I said, look, we have the funds to hire FERCog if you all are swamped. I just wanted to know what you preferred. So I don't have an answer yet. So that would be so that's part of what we're going to be doing. Can't you see what I'm pointing to on my screen? With the publishing of the RFP, that would be the only thing that would have a financial impact on the funds that we have from CPC.
I will just add my 2 cents to say that the timing of this, if this goes out in February,
Mhm.
you're getting ready for the Springtown meeting and you're trying to do the budget. And everybody is crazed at that time of year.
Well,
So
that's why I was making
yeah,
the offer, but I don't
Yeah.
want to step on any toes if this is something that Town
I
Hall
know.
prefer to do. And okay.
I like the way you phrased it, Lily, because it's a polite thing. Is this something that would be appropriate for you to do? However, we understand that you may be overwhelmed at this point. That's okay. We have an option. We have another option.
Right.
I think it's polite, it's appropriate to handle it just the way you're doing.
Thank you. Excellent. All right, any other next steps, anybody? No. If we actually get bidders, then we will also convene a new committee, but that won't matter to the CPC. Really, for the CPC, they need to know that we're still working and that we have used their funds to do these things, the contract work with OTO, the development of the RFP, and hiring FERCog to manage the process, and then saying we're doing it again. Kathy, are you speaking to us? Because you're muted.
Did you spend any money since last November when you submitted the last report?
Yes, what do you mean you? Did we?
talking
Yeah, we paid for
there.
FERCog. We paid for FERCog, and we actually tapped paid off the contract with OTO, and that's the actual report that I will get from town hall and will attach to this as well.
Okay, yeah. Thank
That will
you.
list it, okay, and I'll do this, I'll take that same report and share it with the CIPC. If you all are ready for us to go to this, so are people
Yes.
comfortable with me submitting this with the report from town hall on the actual monies?
Yes.
I need a motion and a vote.
Make
I
a
make that motion.
with the attachment from the town hall about of the money spent.
Yes.
Second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor, Pam Predmore,
Aye.
Kathy Sylvester,
Yes.
CC isn't Carolyn Ness,
Yes.
Lily Dwight, yes, okay, I will do that. Hopefully by Friday I'll have that data and we'll get it out because I know things are jumping. All right, so let's jump to the CIPC report, which is sort of a lot less germane to us, but must be done. So expected lifespan of the equipment, I put 50+ years, right?
Yep.
Oh, here's a typo. Okay, so detail, description, justification. The studies outlined last year have been completed and the RFP was published. No bids were received. We are working with the staff of the Secretary of Housing and Livable Communities to resubmit for bids. We anticipate retaining FRCOG for this work.
I think publish sounds better than resubmit.
Yep. Thank you.
That's all.
Great. Yep.
Yeah, I think that sounds a little better.
But I should say again, because otherwise it's confusing, because
Yeah.
we did do it.
Yeah.
All right. We anticipate retaining FRCOG for this work if necessary.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can wait on this, and when I get an answer from town hall, I can change this sentence. Because really the CIPC wants to know about money. So I estimated FRCOG services at $5,000 because it was $3,000 last year and everything's gone up, right? And I have not asked them for a contract because again, we're waiting for town hall.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is the only expense I foresee, $5,000. And the source of the funding is the CPA funds that we have. And that is it.
The only thing you might want to say is the source is already appropriated CPA funds. So, so we know that it's not going out to the CPA again. It's just already money that we have.
Okay, so appropriated CPA funds, right?
Already appropriated.
Well,
Or you could say appropriated in, what was it? In the 2024 budget, right?
we went back to get more service monies. Was that in 2023 or 2024, Kathy? Do you remember?
I don't, I'll have to take a look here.
I would just, that probably is, instead of saying already appropriated, just say appropriated in 2024 or 2023, whichever year it was. What they want to do is they want to know where the money is coming from.
Mhm.
So, and when you say already appropriated in the 2024 budget, then they know that you're not asking for money, so you don't actually have to.
I'm not gonna say already, I'll just say 2023 CPA funds or
right,
whatever
perfect.
year Kathy is doing her investigating on for us.
I don't see any application.
So I think it was, I'm gonna jump away. CPA 2024, that we just didn't. I think it was 2023 that we did additional
It's funny there, it looks like,
CPC report.
it
Wait,
looks,
Senior housing CPA application final, 2022.
was under approved final in the drive for final applications 2023 is senior housing has many different,
Versions.
yeah, but it's a revised.
Request for additional funds. There it is. We made an amendment to the application on 2023. Okay, cool. So 2023 CPA funds is the source. Does that work with everybody?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm estimating $5,000. Again, and I will attach what we spent. But also again, I can hold off on for a couple more weeks until I hear from Christopher about the likelihood of them wanting to do it, and then I could actually just get a estimate from FERCog.
This is below, almost below their,
Yeah,
but
the
you're just,
threshold's supposed to be 10 grand, so
right, but what you're doing is just in case, and that they're fine with that.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm
that's
just
a good.
updating, because we did last year, we had a really significant one with lots of detail and all that kind of stuff, and it is a capital project, so yeah. Okay, so we don't need to vote on this. I just wanted people's feedback on this, so everybody's pretty comfortable with this as it stands for now.
Sure.
Okay, you don't need to vote on that.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, all right. So the CPC update I will submit. Oh, I can stop sharing now. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep sharing because now we're gonna do the RFP for 20 minutes or so, all right? All right. So I spent a little time. Oh, you know what? I couldn't do it on this one because it was a pain in the what's this. I am gonna stop sharing and then I will. I did go through, I downloaded the last version and where did it go? Too many things that are open. There's a PDF. RFP, V2, markup. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to screen sharing. Here we go. So I spent some time today walking through this. Hang on, I'm hiding my floating meeting controls. I'm shrinking all of your heads. Is this large enough for you all to see? Okay, good. So I walked through and identified, I think, the different things that we want to talk about. What I propose is let's walk through my comments and take your responses to that. And then I would ask all of you, since we're not meeting next week, to take an hour next week and to go through it yourselves as well, okay? Because we don't meet every week. All right. So we're seeking proposals from developers for the development. We said between 30 to 60. What do you think about changing that to say just up to 60? No bottom. We had talked about saying 20 to 60, but what if we just say up to?
Yes, I agree because, we don't know, why do you want to put a bottom limit on it? If somebody wants to develop 15 and they're gonna do it, great. But it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And after seeing what they're doing at Cumberland Farms, where they got 13 units there.
They're all studios. Well, there's couple of one bedrooms. They're tiny. 400 square feet for the studio and 720 square feet for the one bedroom.
I know they're tiny, but let's.
It's housing, I
think
agree.
I think this solves it by saying,
Okay.
you do it, you present it.
Yep, okay. And then here I changed the 60% of AMI to 80%, as we discussed.
Okay.
Does everybody with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then
Lily, that's the one thing that I think before we send it out, that's the one thing that we should really make sure that the housing people have a chance to look at that.
yeah, of course,
Okay,
of course. Yeah, I mean, what I would suggest is that we make our changes and then send it to Josh Cuddy.
yep,
That's what
I
I was
agree.
thinking.
Yep, okay.
So here, maybe not, is the whole thing about FERCog, and will we have FERCog do the RFP process? And obviously, I didn't bother going through this and changing dates, but obviously all the dates will have to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this might need a different write-up. And I started on the dates, I'm like, going, forget it. So change this seeking to build a minimum of 30 and maximum of 60 to be maximum of 60.
Yep.
That,
Mm-hmm.
Do
Kathy?
we have to even think of having that many? Because I don't think that's supported by the town.
Well, honestly, if you saw what they were putting into a 1/4 acre on Cumbies,
Yeah,
got 13 units on a 1/4 acre, and we have over 2 acres. The thing about putting a maximum of 60 on there is we don't want more than that. Are you suggesting maybe a maximum of 40? I mean, we might, by opening up to maximum of 60, I'm thinking maybe we'll hear from more developers and see what they got.
yeah.
I think what needs to be changed is though is a mix of 1 and 2 bedroom units. I just,
Right, so down below, I said, do we want to add studios?
yes, I think we should. After seeing what they're doing at Cumbies and it's viable, why wouldn't you want a
It's a
studio?
different audience. It's a
I
different audience,
know.
Carolyn, because they're gonna be getting students and people just out of school, kind of a thing, which is a very different thing than an old person. However, if we can get a developer, we get a developer. Pam, I'm interested in what you might have to say. You're muted though, so we'll never know unless you unmute.
I gotta turn off the propane stove.
Okay.
Couple of things. What is it you three are specifically talking about when you say studio? Are you talking one room that is the bedroom, living room,
Yes,
kitchen?
yes,
Okay.
with
Because
the bathroom.
and a bathroom, right, that has a door. That's a separate.
Yes, it has a door. That's about it. Yep. No,
But,
400, like 400 square feet.
because I've heard studio refer to a room that is the living room, dining room, kitchen with a separate room with a door, that's the bedroom, and a bathroom.
That would be considered a 1 bedroom.
All right, okay. Well, once again, I can only refer to my experience with what I managed at Amherst Housing, which included a one bedroom apartment, apartments plural, at Chestnut Court and Ann Whalen Apartments. Those ranged from 413 square feet, which was Chestnut Court, that was the older of those two sites. And the Ann Whalen Apartments were slightly, but not a whole lot larger.
Mhm.
Probably, I'm trying to remember, those were certainly, those are about 550, I believe. I may be a little between 550 and 600 square feet, all one bedrooms.
Right.
I'm trying to think if we had, the only 2 bedrooms we had were at the Gene Elder house, which was totally different. It was congregate. Because in those cases, those were actually rented to people who were not necessarily related. What they did is they each had their own bedroom, but they
Right.
shared a kitchen. Sorry, I've lost you guys.
Other living spaces. Gotcha.
Yeah,
So my
so-
question is then, how do you feel like we should add studio to the list of the mix of units?
I don't think it hurts to do that, because basically what you're trying to do is give a wider range of options.
Right.
And I think that's a good idea.
Okay. And how do you feel about the changing this sentence that says a minimum of 30, maximum of 60 to be just to build a maximum of 60 senior rental housing units?
That's a hard one for me, because I think it makes sense to say just maximum of 60. Rather than, I guess, rather than a minimum, well,
So given if we do this, there's a possibility that, let's just say backyard ADU says, okay, we could come in and put a cluster of 15 small homes in this space, or 18 small homes, right? That would be a lot fewer than we had hoped for.
yeah,
It would be it would be a nice development, and it would still take care of, say, 18 people. I mean, obviously then the review committee has to review it and make a decision, but that's the point of removing the minimum.
yeah, I get that. And I have to confess, something is better than nothing. But there's also a good grief, how many years, decades, people, and you know who I'm talking about, have been working on this, to only end up with 15 or 16 really hurts.
Yes, but 15 is better than 0.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And I guess there's a part of me that says, I suppose it's a good start.
There you go. It's not the end.
Right.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a housing trust going, and we'll be able to do more. Okay, so everybody agreed that this will become maximum of 60 and then add studio to the mix?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Kathy, is that thumbs up, or are you sucking your thumb? Okay, affordability, I changed it to 80% of the AMI. Unit types, so really all we said was they need to be age friendly and adaptable to decreasing mobility. This is all right. So here we talk about it says the developer will be responsible for demolition. So this, we may be able to change. Okay, we may be able to say, if the developer is not interested in the buildings, we will demolish them, because we'll have a grant to do that. Okay. All this stuff was unchanged. Don't get dizzy now.
I know, I was trying not to look at it too
Don't
much.
look at it. I'll pause. Okay, so minimum threshold criteria, 80% of AMI. So one of the things that we have in here is the proposer must have a minimum of 5 years of experience in development of housing. Now, it occurred to me when I was looking through this that this cuts out people who may be new to the industry and have fresh ideas and new ways of looking at things. Obviously, you know, we don't want to go with some fly-by-night or risk the whole development project, but this seems kind of stringent to me. What do you guys think?
I don't think 5 years is very long. Because,
It
builders,
takes 5 years to build it?
well, that too, but I mean, my experience with people working on our house is like, I think they are pretty experienced and I'm shocked at the mistakes they make. And so it's like, okay, you've had years, this many years in and you made this mistake, like, really? So less than 5 years, I mean, that's not very much. I mean, you learn by your mistakes, right? I
Well,
don't,
I think it's, I don't disagree with you, Kathy, but I think the more important thing is for them to show that they have done this. I don't care if it was done 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. Show us what you've done. You know,
well,
if you've changed ideas somewhere along the line, tell us about it. But I mean,
it's-
the only thing I can say is that my experience with an experienced architect who still made mistakes.
sure.
And we had to fire him and find somebody else to be the architect of record. So, you know, that
yeah.
I just,
it isn't the years they've been involved, it's more what they've done.
Well, also later on in our requirements, we say that we need to see projects that they've done and see and be able to go and talk to the residents of projects.
Absolutely. That's how we found out that some of the issues that have come up in Sunderland, for example, was by going and looking at them and talking to people.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
what if we just said experience in development of housing and don't put 5 years?
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that. Because that's, if they're too inexperienced, we're not gonna, or we have bad, they have to have some kind of references. And if the references aren't panning out, then we're not gonna go with them.
Okay.
And the references should supposedly be taken care of in the next requirement because you're talking about sufficient staff and the resources and stuff to do it.
Right. We go in depth into what we require of the developer
Right.
and stuff. This is be interesting. I wonder if this is actually going to put it on the dock, but anyway, we'll find it. Okay. Whoops, no. See, look, it's still traveling with me. Ah, why did you do that? Just stay right here. I want you to stay here. If not, I'm going to erase you. All right, done. All right, well, I will remember that. So here are the minimum criteria, and then plus the additional comparative that we have in the attachment. You remember that we did the different rating on, okay? Development experience. So developer experience exceeds minimum criteria, prior track record, capacity and performance financing, staffing plan, and project timeline. And that was, the ability to commence work within 90 days of award. So, because let's get this done. You can't sit on it, right? So none of these things seemed to need changing. They have to be financially viable. The superior design approach. The price proposal, these are all just the standard forms. So there will be post-selection, none of this changed, none of this changed. And here we go. This is where. So the developer experience and capacity. So development team members have not had any or only minimal experience in development projects. That's unacceptable. Okay. Advantageous. They have significant experience in development projects of similar scope, including legal, design, financing, blah, blah, blah. And then highly advantageous is with the age-friendly design, and they have experience working with a municipality in development.
Mhm.
Does that make you feel better, Kathy?
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Affordability, 80%, 80%, 80%, 80%. And then leaving alone the balanced mix of units affordable to households below 30% of the AMI and units affordable to households between 30 and 60 as well. So that's the mix, right? So if somebody comes in and they can do 30 to 80, that would make us most happy, right? Is that right?
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Site design, that's no change. Building design, no change. Amenities, financial feasibility. And this is where, again, I had the thing about should we consider new developers? So demonstrate track record of success for 3 projects. So this isn't number of years, right? It's projects. Site visits and then minimum of 3 example projects not provided. So this affects new developers, right? What if they only have 1 project, and what if they're this like dynamite group with this phenomenal idea and we don't talk to them because they've only done 1? Everybody has to start sometime, right?
yes.
That's
I,
good.
as long as they've got one, it gives us something to look at and we'll be able to tell. I mean, I would consider if they've only had one project, then that would require us to do a site visit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, but that's just additional work on our part. We don't have to have that in part of the RSP, but
Right.
I would say that I would wanna look and make sure that it was actually built, whatever they did was actually quality building.
And I would say, yeah, and it has residents and we can talk to the residents.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're exactly right, Pam, because you know, after you've lived there, then you know how, is it
Right.
any good or not? You
What
know, is
works
it,
and what doesn't work, yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So unacceptable. So this is so we'll change this the demonstrate track record of success for 3 projects. This would become 1 project, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why not say at least? Well, it's not limited. I mean, if they've got 2 or 3, that would give us things
Yep.
to compare. What did they
At
change
least 1
between?
project. Yep. Minimum of, and this becomes this becomes
well, we're not gonna be able to control if people want to put in for it, but if we say the minimum of at least one project, then
yeah,
they have to be just not fly by night.
right, with residents.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah. 1 example projects. Probably visit residents were not pleased, whatever. That would be unacceptable. Advantageous. Example projects came in on time within budget. Properties visited were in good condition. Site layout, while residents were largely pleased. So this is implies that we're going to go and talk to them, which I think we all would anyway, don't you?
Yep.
yes, I do.
Okay. All right. And that's that. Basically, the rest of it is quick claim deeds, etc. So those were the things that I remembered us talking about. And that we heard feedback from people about not having a minimum, going to like 80% AMI. And I think we've actually even opened it up a little bit more with having it, one, giving new developers a chance as well.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. Boop. I will take this marked up PDF and I will put it in the drive and I will link to it in the minutes. So all of you all can go and, oh, I just saw the chat from Kathy. Thank you with the OTO name. And all of you go and read through it and see if there's anything else you want to add. And
Okay, and we're gonna just leave the dates for the moment, right?
yeah,
Okay.
and also till we know if FERCog's doing this or not. But basically, if we just have the meat and we're all agreed on our
Yep.
intention, then the rest is administrivia. Excuse me,
Yeah.
administrivia, right?
Yep. Okay.
All right. Yoo-hoo! 2 minutes left in our meeting. What will we do in our next meeting? Probably go over the RFP. And I'll update you on what I learned about the FERCog. Whether we're gonna retain the FERCog or not. And we'll see if we hear from Josh Cuddy. What I'm thinking is I would take our amendments and give them to Alex, because Alex is the one who took our document and made it all into a really pretty PDF. And then send that to Josh Cuddy and the other people from Natalie's office and Joe's office.
Yep.
And
Well,
I think I might,
we want to include them just so that we can say that we're moving on it again.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
they're aware.
Yeah. I was thinking about including Alyssa LaRose, but I can't because they would be a bidder, so I'm not gonna do that. Right? Because she's
Yes.
just always been really helpful when I call her with questions. I'm just like, would this be better? Would this be better? We would get more people with this. And they were really helpful in explaining why they didn't bid too. So, but at any rate, all right. So we will meet. Our next meeting is November 19th. We do have 1 minute. Jason, if you have any comments you want to make? You can put it in the chat if you want to chat. All right. Hearing none, I would entertain any motions about
I'll
adjournment.
make that motion.
Okay.
Carolyn.
Yeah, second it, Kathy.
Okay. So, Carol, voting to adjourn, the time is 6 p.m. Carolyn,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Lily, yes. Oh, Jason, you came online, but I don't know if that's intentional, whatever. But thank you for trying. Our next meeting is November 19th.
All right.
2025. See you all then. All right.
Yes. Bye.
Bye, everybody.